Hey guys, this is the last week of Persuasive Writing, and I wanted to read a book to you guys that kind of helps us understand better about persuasive writing. So, persuasive writing means that we are trying to convince somebody to do something or convince somebody that our idea is correct. So, this book right here, Dear Mrs. LaRue, Letters from Obedience School, is all about a dog who is trying to convince his owner that he shouldn't be in obedience school. He's made lots and lots of mistakes, but he thinks that he is still a good dog and he should be able to stay at home instead of going to obedience school to learn how to be a good dog. So let's read some of the letters that he wrote. Dear Mrs. LaRue, how could you do this to me? This is a prison, not a school. You should see the other dogs. They are bad dogs, Mrs. LaRue. I do not fit in. Even the journey here was a horror. I'm very unhappy and may need something to chew on when I get home. Please come right away. Sincerely, Ike. Here's another letter that he wrote. Dear Mrs. LaRue, were you really so upset about the chicken pie? You know you might have discussed it with me. You could have said, Ike, don't eat the chicken pie. I'm saving it for dinner. Would that have been so difficult? It would have prevented a lot of hard feelings. Needless to say, I am being horribly mistreated. You say I should be patient and accept that I'll be here through the term? Are you aware that the term lasts 2 months? Do you know how long that is in dog years? Sincerely, Ike. Dear Mrs. LaRue, the guards here are all caught up on this good dog, bad dog thing. I hear it constantly. Good dog, Ike. Don't be a bad dog, Ike. It is really so good to sit still like a lummox all day. Nevertheless, I refuse to be broken. Miss Klondike has taken my typewriter. She claims it disturbs the other dogs. Does anybody care that the other dogs disturb me? Yours, Ike. We'll read one more letter. Dear Mrs. LaRue, thank you for the lovely get well card. Still, I'm a little surprised that you didn't come get me. I know what Dr. Wilfrey says, but it is really wise to take risks with one's health? I could have a relapse, you know. With fall here, I think about all the fine times we used to have in the park. Remember how sometimes you would bring along a tennis ball? You would throw it and would retrieve it every time except for once when it landed in something nasty and I brought you back a stick instead? Oh, how I miss those days. Yours truly, Ike. P.S. Imagine how awful it is for me to be stuck inside my tiny cell. P.P.S. I still feel pretty sick. So in this book, the dog is writing letters to his owner to convince her to get him out of obedience school. Do you think that she should take him out of obedience school and let him go back home? So writing letters is a way that you could try and do some persuasive writing too. You could write a letter to your parents asking them for something. You could write a letter to me, trying to tell me something. You could write a letter to your grandparents or to your siblings. So I encourage you guys to try and write a letter this week so that you can try and persuade somebody about your opinion.